So it's about the same. Like it's pretty much exactly where we left off last time. And Burton, you're getting into the car, and you notice it smells very strongly of gasoline. And you have obviously, I think we can assume that after the grocery store, you guys decided to keep the car, so you went and got some fuel.
Yeah.
But the containers you put it in, not actually gas cans, they're just like whatever you had. And you find that one of those gas cans has just leaked all over the trunk of that car, or hatch of that car, whatever it is. And there's one can that's like half full, and there's some gas in the tank right now, but this car is not going to make it a whole another day. You're going to need gas before tomorrow evening at the very least.
Okay. Oh man.
Burton, if you want, we could probably see if we can hike for, while everyone else is setting camp. Just go ahead and see if we can siphon something off.
I like the idea of that, and I actually this might be something where I think on some level Burton might feel responsible for it, in the sense that he wasn't paying clear enough attention, and although there wasn't ultimately anything he could have done about it, if he can fix it, he's going to try and fix it. So, but any assistance is appreciated.
May I add a bit of narrative to that varied scarcities, Bethany? I think there were multiple cans and or multiple containers, and some are missing.
Okay. That's not good.
That's not great.
Okay. Believe it or not, I think I'm going to go to... Yeah, I think I'm actually going to go talk to Ezra, because I think on some level, I think she's one of the few people I can... Who I think will be able to help me out of this. Which is...
I thought you were going to say trust, and I'm like, yeah.
I mean, Burton does trust her, even if he doesn't know the words to put, I trust you. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Burton is he's going to realize some of the cans are missing. He's going to realize one of them is spilled all over the trunk, and he's going to go find Ezra. So where would he find Ezra?
I think she would be helping maintain some of the the tents that in the middle of the night they're not very well set up. They're blown over. Some of them have holes torn in them. So she's trying to salvage as much as we can. Don't smoke anything in the car.
Oh God, I just had an awful. Okay, no.
Nope.
We're gonna focus on what the task at hand. Yeah. So then, I think Burton is just gonna kind of come up and I think he moves to tap you on the shoulder, and then thinks better of it, and then actually says in a decent voice, or not decent, but loud enough voice, hey, can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, actually it's better if I just show you. Come with me to the I just need to show you the and he'll just kind of not even get the full words out, and just kind of he's hoping you'll follow him, but he'll just kind of walk back to the car, and then just kind of some of these things are not like the others.
Why does it smell like gas?
Because there is gas all over the floor of the trunk, and before I get any I didn't do it. Because if I did, I wouldn't have come to you.
You have a point. But who's been in the car? Because you're driving.
Yes. And I've been staying in the back seat every so often just to get some shut-eye. But I haven't been by recently. And things have been I don't know. I've been keeping as much track of it as I can, but for some reason, I remember how much we got, and that's not all.
No,
Not all of it is
She does
here.
have again her little bookie notepad,
Mm-hmm.
and she immediately like slams the door closed, and she goes back to where I'm assuming they've been holding everything kind of hitched to the back, and just starts counting. And I say maybe there's like 4 like dollar like those water bottles you buy at the grocery store, like those of gas that are just gone. It's not that they're empty bottles, there's just no bottles.
Yeah, the bottles are gone. Which is actually, I think I look briefly over your shoulder and just kind of like look back and go, okay, so it's not just me, bottles are gone.
Yeah.
And we're in like the wild. Are there like trees around us or many? I think we're in sort of. I know we were traveling, but what's like the surroundings?
I think kind of scrubby foothills.
Gotcha.
Where there's like a hastily hatched out like path.
Yeah,
but that's about it.
Okay. So yeah, never mind what I was going to do then.
I mean, it can be a road, but it's like it's an old road. Actually, I have a question. How can you tell that there are still people living around this area?
Who's the question directed at?
Anybody who has an answer.
Okay, great.
Well, for one thing, in the direction to the right of the car, there's some smoke billowing in the distance.
There's a couple patches like that are very lacking in trees where people have obviously like cut them down.
And I think there's like one of the things that's. Oh, sorry. Did you have an idea, Peter?
Yeah, there's actually sort of scattered piles of like if you're not looking closely, it just kind of looks like grass, but there are scattered piles of weeds around, almost as if someone has instinctively been pulling them.
Okay. And just to be creepy, just like some very distinctive like piles of rocks that if you were just kind of going past, you're like, oh, that's a thing. But they're not a configuration that would be natural. Like someone has purposely stacked them.
Yeah. And I want to oh, sorry. Did you have an idea, Bethany, for what's around?
Oh, I just want. Are they like a specific kind of rock, or are they just the kind of rocks that you find on the ground here?
I feel like they're larger stones, but they've been smooth and polished.
Yeah, and I'm going to activate probably the most primitive aspect of the digital realm I've thought of. But the smoke you see is signals. Or at least seems to be having a pattern.
Huh.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna use a strong move. Reveal a previously unmentioned skill. I can read smoke signals.
Okay, this is. I think these signals are saying like they are drawing people towards them. You don't know if the people will come through your camp or how far away it's drawing people for, but this means come to us. We have things, or we have something we want or to do.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, and I think as Burton's just kind of looking around, and I think he's trying to piece together, initially like where the bombs might have gone. He'll look up, and I think he saw the smoke earlier, but like he wasn't thinking about it in any sort of context of what it could be, and was just like, oh, smoke, cool, people live there, and he just kind of squints at it, and then just kind of goes, whoever's over there is actually calling people to them. There's a possibility that they have things which might include gas. We could actually maybe go there and get get what we need.
Do you know where Rezzi's been hiding those mushrooms?
No, but I know where I could look.
Because they are pretty valuable.
I am going to use one of my weak moves when I'm not in this scene. Burton knows my stash. This is my secret vulnerability, because I keep everything important to me here.
Oh, man. Okay, so I know. Oh, crap. Okay, then yeah, I do know. I just don't want to take anything without asking him.
Do you think he'll be madder when he realizes they're gone and then you probably ate them or some shit? Or do you think he's going to be madder when we're stuck out here and those guys who we stole their car come back? Because we've got 5 bullets. I've counted.
Okay, I will go and see what I can find. And
Just one.
okay,
That's something that you can write off.
Okay, well, I'm going to decide what I can or can't write off on the way back from hopefully getting gas. So, yeah, and I'll just go to where I know Rezzi keeps his stash, and I'll just grab one on the off chance. And trust me, I feel really freaking guilty doing it. There's no question that I feel guilty about it, but and I'm gonna head back and
You come back and Ezra's packing up a couple of the other kind of valuables, not essentials. That bottle of whiskey that you guys got at the supermarket is in there. She grabs like a little satchel of coffee that also goes in her pack.
Okay. All right, so I know we don't know what they have, but hopefully they have what we need. And
if they don't have what we need, they will know how to get it. Trust me, there's always someone who knows how to get things.
I guess what I'm more worried about is what happens. No, I'm not. Okay, let's just go.
No, what happens when? If you think we need to be more prepared.
I don't think we can be. I'm just saying, is there some way between the two of us where we can decide if things are getting a little out of hand and we need to get out of there?
Aside from, kick ass on the way out, we're going to be outnumbered one way or the other, most likely.
Okay. All right. Well, good thing I brought my baseball bat. Not that'll. Okay, let's just.
Let's just go. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's easier said. Oh no! And yeah, fine. No, you know what? If Bella's there, I'm going to get her to smell the mushroom. Just sniff it and go to where the rest are.
She looks it.
You know what? Scratch that. Gonna that. Okay, I go and find Levy, and I just go, "Hey, could you look after Bella for a bit?" Yeah, and cool.
He'll agree. Yeah.
Great. Okay. Cool.
It's like a pointed, awkward energy between Ezra and Levy.
Yeah. Just
no words, but just like no, fuck.
Okay.
I think Levy's actually hanging out with Izzy, and they're like seem to be buddies now, which is weird because they seem to have nothing in common until you actually think about, well, they're about the same age and they were both raised out in the wasteland, and they're both like less tough than that suggests because the adults in their lives have protected them. So they kind of have, well, very different skill sets, maybe a little bit of a similar point of view.
Okay. Cool.
And they will happily take Rezzi, or take Bella.
They take Rezzi.
Oh no!
We watch Rezzi for you.
No, keep an eye on Bella. Rezzi's mine. No. Okay, that was out of character, and you know it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's go on this little side venture.
Did we tell them where we were going?
What I want to know is anyone else going with you?
Frantically go look at the NPCs.
I don't. Okay, so at least from Burton's perspective, he wouldn't necessarily ask anyone else because he wants to get this done efficiently.
Could I introduce a character from my gang?
Sure.
Yeah.
I think this is DD, just 2 Ds, with like a D dot D dot, and they she has like these like those gang teardrops, but like fully down her cheeks, and like just a circle, an empty circle on her forehead tattooed. You're not sure what it means, but I think like she was near Levy because someone needs to watch out for the boss's kid every now and again. But yeah,
all right.
But she'll go with you.
I just realized this is this is either the second time or an expansion of the first time that somebody just managed to sneak into our camp and do something without anyone knowing, in spite of all of the people here.
It may be an extension.
I have returned.
Yay!
Yay! Wait, we must test it.
Yeah, here's the real test.
Yeah.
All right.
We're on I was about to say we're on an adventure, but then I was like, no, we're on a sad venture.
You said we don't know that yet.
We don't.
You're right. But Peter can joke.
I mean, the people we run into might just be really nice, really nice ladies with some Paula Deen cookbooks they want to sell.
I swear. Which is just a statement I made and has nothing to do with what you said.
Yeah. Goddess cults.
Well.
Oh shit, Paula Deen is the head of a goddess cult.
What if they just worship her?
Okay, what are you all talking about? Paula Deen is the goddess, right? I know it's bad. It's the worst. It's the worst. Oh, why have we imagined this apocalypse for ourselves?
Sarah, while you were gone, I just expressed the intent to want to be back so that we can be there for the
inevitable blow up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, cool. So,
Ezra's got some opinions.
I think Burton's got some too, and he's not used to it. So,
fun hiking, man.
Yeah, let's hike. You, me, and Dee Dee.
Ah. Yeah.
So we're making our way over. I have the Earth. Someone else is welcome to take the Earth.
Take the whole Earth.
Oh God.
I can take. Well, I've got varied scarcities, which kind of started this whole thing. So I feel bad jumping on like the next thing you'll interact with.
No, go ahead. I mean, I played like the second Maelstrom and something else last time in one scene, so.
Okay.
And I'll pick something up when I am ready to hook into something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So yes,
So I think since I feel like it was a decent ways away. Like it's probably an hour or two hike.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of dead air between these three people who don't really hang out.
Yeah,
It's camping.
And, like you lose sight of it frequently because it is like these kind of hills, like foothills. Like in the distance, you can see mountains, but it's not that direction. And so you can't always see. You know, sometimes you're in the like down, and there's a hill between you and it. And so you only get little snatches of the messages. But it's after a while you realize it's the same message over and over. It's almost like an automatic recording, but smoke.
There's just one person whose job it is.
But I think, do you have something for the Earth itself coming up, or is that what you wanted to take it for? Because when they get closer, I do have something I want with the digital realm, kind of.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. I wasn't taking the digital realm. I'm just kind of like expanding on that.
Yeah, I think like once you're like within like 15 minutes of a walk, you start feeling like, you know, that like feel of electricity in the air kind of thing, just like bad electronics. Like, everyone, come. The goddess is alive. The goddess has been found. Everyone, come. The goddess is alive. The goddess has been found. Just on repeat.
Please tell me the goddess has gas. That is a line that I never want to say again.
Yeah. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about, but as long as we can get what the fuck we need and leave, I'm good with that.
I am very much into that. I guess, yeah. I'll certainly carry on.
Yeah.
And probably the group will, yeah.
And though she has, like, she grabbed a gun from somebody as they were running in their initial, like, escape. And there's, like, maybe 2 bullets in it. But she's going to brandish it as if it was unlimited ammo video game style. Just trying to make herself a bigger threat. In case they need it.
Yeah. Burton's just got the baseball bat ready. Yeah. I think he's one-handing it right now. But, you know.
And I think Dee Dee's weapon of choice are just like a pair of like brass knuckles with spikes almost a quarter of an inch too long for legal limit.
Okay.
Not that it matters anymore, but...
Yeah, legal limit.
What's
oh god.
Law?
Let's go.
Yeah, no, it'll be fine. And maybe they're just, peace-loving hippie types.
I think you guys, with this cult, you get to what was like those survivalist kind of things, like but instead of like, the keep out, trespassers will be shot, beware of dog signs, you see a double-sided axe, which is the labrys, which is a sign of like goddesses in ancient Greece many times. A sign that says all are welcome, but like with an asterisk, but there is no footnote. Like the sign with that footnote is gone. And
it's like just chains where it used to be.
Yeah, and but like this paper poster that's been very recently done, and it's the same doll. It looks like the same napkin doll like that was left with Lark is on it, like in design, and it's I think it says the bird returns to the cage.
All right, Lark, did I actually see that napkin that night? The little doll?
I think I just put it in my pocket.
Okay.
So probably not.
Okay. The bird returns to the cage. Sounds like some freaky prophecy shit, but
That's what I was afraid of. Okay.
Do we want to be walking into this cage?
I don't know if we have a lot of a choice at this point, considering where we are and what we need.
Yeah.
So,
Well, fuck.
not much consolation, but I got your back if things get messy.
Thanks.
Yeah, well,
I
No one
still
wants to-
think you should lead this charge, though.
no.
Okay.
No. I'll do it.
Because I think they'll react a little bit nicer to someone who looks like you than someone who looks like me.
Yeah, I think Dee
Yeah.
looks down at Ezra. Is like, "What's wrong with me?" As like she stands awkwardly with like this calloused fist.
No,
Someone
I'll
less aggressive.
yeah, I'll do it. And out of character, go ahead and take a lure token for that.
Ah, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess I will try and prove myself by leading the charge, so to speak.
There is a like, what you know as like one of those old like you go up, you press a button, someone talks to you kind of thing. And I think you press the button, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And this voice crackles on. Hello and welcome. Did you see the signs? Are you here for the celebration?
We just have some things.
Like there's a celebration.
We just have some things we need, and we just want to talk.
I'm sorry. Trading hours are, and they list like a 1 hour away. If you are here for the celebration, you may come in. All are welcome.
Fuck. Okay. If it's an hour away, then
And, like, it's a chain link fence. Like you can just lift the thing and walk in. Well, after you've announced yourself. It's not very secure anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think we really have a choice, do we?
No. Let's just check it out.
And
Lift the chain link fence. Like, just go.
And there's like this long, windy path, sort of like a forest trail in this overgrown survivalist area. And I don't want to like completely describe the earth itself if that's what I'm doing, though.
You seem to have a plan, so go with it.
Okay. It's just like, it seems like it could have used a gardener a few years ago. Now it's almost beyond hope. Like, you're not sure, like, what. You're glad Bella's not here because she probably would have gotten a lot of ticks. But you make it up, and there is like this grand, not mansion, but like a millionaire's bunker kind of thing. It's really big, really secure, but there's all these banners, all these like there's like a big statue of like a faceless woman holding the double axe. And it looks like it was carved by someone who's never been to art school but kind of got it down. And but what you do notice most of are Polaroids of Lark when she was sleeping last night.
Okay, what the fuck?
How many people do we know that look like Lark? Because I'm guessing the number is one, and that is Lark. Okay. Cool. That's fucking frightening.
I immediately go and I like rip one of the Polaroids off.
And I think like you hear this sound from like not like directly beside you, but coming from your side. Oh, so you do know the goddess.
I'm going to immediately swivel to where that sound came from.
It is this Stepford-looking. Like she looks too well fed, but not overfed. Like she eats regularly, and strawberry, dirty blonde hairs like coming out of this hood. She's wearing kind of like looks like it was a silk sheet made into a cultist's robe. Great thread count she is just smiling. It's like, isn't it wonderful? Our prayers have been answered.
What the fuck?
Whose prayers and... Okay, just what are you talking about?
Don't you know? This is the woman of the axe. We've seen it. We know her purpose is to lead us.
Suppose for a second that some of us haven't seen it. What?
Lead you where?
To victory.
Against what?
And the smile gets really creepy. Against the non-believers. You believe, don't you?
Yes.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, yeah, definitely, for sure, no question about it.
And she grins like, oh, this is so wonderful. Beth, no, that's, sorry about that. Sandy, put more gas on the fire.
What are you cooking?
It's for the signals.
Oh, right.
Just lean in and whisper, they have gas, though.
That's a good sign.
The only good sign.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And I think like she's stepping closer. Are you here for the celebrations? We are going to raise prayer and then go find the goddess and bring her to where she belongs, where her powers can be revealed and wallowed in.
Uh-huh. How about this? If we participate and say maybe help with that last part you mentioned, would you be willing to give us some gas to help the rest of our group continue onwards to victory? And I am
what
using...
What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know. I'm making shit up. Yeah, no, I don't have any moves like that. Oh boy.
Is that a threaten or coerce someone?
You have a regular move.
I do have a regular move.
Step into
negotiate with outsiders. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God.
Yeah. And she smiles widely. You seem wise. And she looks at Ezra and she looks at Dee Dee. You are obviously the leader.
I'm like doing everything I can not to look to my left or right, and I'm just like looking her dead in the eyes and going, obviously.
Ezra is trying her hardest not to look utterly offended.
Yeah, no, and I'm just like, please, please, please.
And you start smelling something that is actually very relaxing in this scene, or at least pleasant. You smell beef being cooked.
Oh. Well.
The celebrations include meals. will your companions be dining with you?
When you say companions, you mean these two, or do you mean the people?
Are they your slaves?
No, they're my companions. Yes. Let's eat.
Good.
Excuse me, out of character. Burton might just die from mortification.
Yeah.
Are the women your
Burton, you do notice something about these believers. You're the only male figured or gendered looking person here.
Yes.
No, like in this entire compound.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think many of them, like enough of them to make you uncomfortable, are looking at you like Rezzi looked at you in the tent.
Oh no! Oh no! No, I'm having so many midlife crises.
Need to go.
I agree with that, but we need what we need, and if we don't get it, then we're kind of dead in the water.
And I think the celebration, more people are arriving, so more men are showing up, more people from outside. So it's not just Burton, it's not just cultists coming, but by the time you reach this sort of picnicky area, these grounds are actually kept very well. Like they're not as wild and tick infested or bug ridden as the others. But there are lots of tables, and you're placed by one near the residence, far, far from the actual show going on.
There is a show.
Well, the celebration, we have found the goddess. She is real. We will bring her to us. She will lead us to victory. Blah, blah. Yeah.
Okay, the longer this goes on, the more I'm thinking it might be a very, very good idea for you two to get out of here.
Yeah.
You need to warn them. You need to warn everyone else.
And Dee I think Dee looks at you, is like, stands up and she slides out, but it's very quick. Maybe it's her power that the tear is just sort of like a blur almost in your vision.
Okay, that's the first time someone's just listened to me from the get-go.
No. I'm going to do something, and it's going to be either very good or very stupid.
Okay, what are you going to do?
And I tell Burton, I'm like, okay, I need you to use this to cause a distraction. And she reaches into her I'm assuming she has big pants with cargo pants pockets, because where else are you going to keep your little booky notebooks? And pulls out the smallest of vials. Go to Head Lady and put this in her drink.
What does it do? Just so that I know in case I need to run quickly.
Run quickly.
Okay, great. I'm gonna go before I have time to think about this.
And you reach she's doing some kind of ritual, but she brings out this big, huge beer stein that is large enough for she has to hold it with two hands. It's just filled with wines and all sorts of stuff, but she's letting people take drinks out of it.
Okay, great. Okay, I'm going to walk up to her and just go, so, have you taken a drink from this?
I will drink last after everyone else has. Please, join us.
Before you do anything, I'm going to make a note of the strong move that I've ticked in the character keeper.
Yeah.
Which is, lace something with an undetectable poison.
Oh, great.
Good, is this a lethal poison or a...
Yes.
Ooh. So yeah.
I'm gonna... If she says she's going to drink last, then I need to put it in.
You see, like, you can do this, but like, you also see like her own food near her. Like, you can maybe put it on her food.
Yeah.
You know what? I am going to go ahead and spend a strong move and work hard and get the job done.
Yeah. So she's like, praising, doing this, takes a bite of her food, takes a big swig, walks up, and we.
Run.
Yeah. Oh, I'm running. I'm so running. I'm like running as fast as I've ever run in my entire life, which is saying something.
And she falls into the beer stein, knocking it over.
Great.
Run
Okay.
as fast as those asthmatic ones will help.
Yeah. On my way out, how close was I to where Sandy was putting gas on the thing?
I think, like, Ezra, as you're getting out of there, like, you're a hawker. You know what to look for. And you're, like, walking, like, by the... Maybe you came up with Burton and you just walked past him. But there are several containers of gas, including the unopened bottles that were in the trunk of your car.
As we are booking it, I don't actually grab one of the ones that we had, but there is a like big, red gas container, like an actual one in a bottle that won't disintegrate. I grab that.
Okay.
And you hear Sandy's gone up, Missy, oh no, wait, that means I'm High Priestess now.
I should have killed all of them.
Just made this an accidental Jonestown.
Oh, that's not funny. Why am I laughing? Oh, God. Okay, we're booking it back. So
We are
bringing it right back.
bringing it home.
That side venture brought to you by her. Just some nonsense.
Brought to you by Hurricane Burton Ezra.
Oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
I have a question about the poison. It's lethal, but what other like effects does it have on the High Priestess? Like, what's the poison, like, what is the poison made from?
This is not something that I have learned in.
Mm.
Never mind.
The poison is made from capitalism.
I think Dremmer, who is an herbalist, probably found some wild hemlock plants just growing in the ditch and decided that since we were lacking in weapons, it would be good to have some of this. So he probably has some too.
Okay.
I was curious whether this was something that came from some sort of mutant plant or something. So
You kind of.
I mean, mutant hemlock.
Yeah.
Even faster,
Ooh.
I think.
That would explain a lot.
It just tastes a little bit sweeter. So when it was put in the drink.
Oh yeah, that's almost certainly it. Okay.
You did this.
I'm thinking about whether there's a like a maelstrom that can be called on here. Specifically, like from the High Priestess to like the Polaroid is creepy enough, but is there? I'm curious what the. I'm just gonna ask the question. I want to ask you a question. So Burton, as the High Priestess, takes this communion that you have given her unwillingly. How do you know that her faith is that her faith in the goddess is unshakable?
Because I've seen that particular look only once before. and it was in Lila's face.
And Ezra, what part of Lark did you see in the High Priestess's concept of the goddess, and what might make it true?
A confidence in knowing that there is something that is beyond us, but it's not something that always needs to be feared. And it might just be true because Lark has gotten this far already. And honestly, has come off better than most of the rest of us.
Awesome.
It'd be
Yeah,
cool if we
Roger.
just we started off another scene and ended that next scene with us just running into camp.
Okay, who has a scene?
Didn't Robyn have one she wanted to do?
Well, yeah. Specifically, I was interested in confronting Rezzi, but that's a scene that Burton and Ezra want to be present for.
Right, okay.
Which, I mean, we could fast forward right up to that. So I guess the other question is if there's like any follow up that Rezzi and Lark want to have from that poor intervention last week.
It was a great intervention. It worked perfectly on
Of course.
Rezzi's side.
Well, we'll see. It's like, are we walking? Are we just talking about it, or?
I'm not talking about it. I don't think.
Oh, I think Rezzi like finds Lark and like looks really stone faced. I have something for you.
And I think that you get the impression that something's a little off about Lark, but given it's Rezzi, you probably just think they're stoned.
Maybe. But yeah, he reaches into his pocket, pulls out this like glasses case, like very hard case, opens it up, pulls out your scalpel, and hands it back.
Thanks.
I kept it safe for you. Thank you for what
Actually,
you did.
could you just hold on to it?
You might need it, though. I have enough weapons. I don't need more.
Right. Okay. I'll take it. And I think I'll just put it like in the car trunk or something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask one psychic Maelstrom question since it's not taken by anyone else. Because Lark, this is the first time you've held a weapon since you've been imbued with these kind of like angry, violent memories.
Yeah. So I think, I don't know, are they angry and violent, or are they just like sad, or how?
They're pained. It's like finding out your mother or like one of your parents was like finding out your parents are getting divorced. It's like a very like, was this me? Was this them? Like confused trauma.
Right. Okay. So
And didn't it also alter your memories of a past event going from just like a verbal altercation to actual violence?
that was a different.
That was
a different pain, but yes, that's how it works.
Yeah. Okay, because my misinterpretation leads us in a different direction. But yeah. Is there anything in this like newfound like tumultuous feelings that make you really like hesitant to hold this? Like, what makes you feel like this is a wrong choice in this moment?
I know that my brain is still open to the psychic maelstrom, and I might not even be thinking about why, but I know that I have been very careful to not have anything even remotely weapon-like when I do this on purpose. So like I think at this point it's become kind of ingrained that, oh, I shouldn't have this right now.
And Rezzi, what does it feel like having those kind of feelings creep into you as you do this handoff? Do they?
Yeah. Ooh. I think Rezzi figures out that you're not stoned. Like he figured out something else is going on, and he yeah, it's just like an eye opener for Rezzi.
I just realized I don't, because of how the memory thing works, I don't remember why, like what this feeling is about. I think I vaguely remember that you're the source, but I don't remember like what you felt this way about. And I don't have anything of like any memories of my own to attach it to. So it's just like in a couple hours, I'm just going to feel really terrible about absolutely nothing. And so that's awesome.
Is that out of character or in character?
That's out of character.
Okay. I'll say that doesn't sound like Lark's cadence.
No.
Yeah, I think Rezzi looks a bit confused. It's like, you showed me things I didn't know about, that I still don't know the full story about. I don't know what to feel. And I'm not saying that in like a, save me kind of way. I don't know what to feel.
I don't have any. I don't think I can help with that.
He sighs a bit and looks a bit forlorn. And, no, I'm not going to ask that yet, but, he looks really sad. It's like, I don't know if I should tell the rest of them. I know I should tell Tenpenny, I think. Oh, didn't you see what I was seeing? That's how it works? Oh, I should be asking, how does this work?
Something, but I don't remember what.
Miss Prim was working with the Institute. I think this was I think we might be Miss Prim, my matron anima. She's like a mom and a teacher and a protector, and all these years I thought I let her down, and you can tell like Rezzi's really uncomfortable because he should be raging, he should be like throwing a fit, like hitting things, and he does not feel like he wants to, which makes him extremely uncomfortable.
He's also like throwing this on Lark twice, which is weird. Like, here's the feelings. Oh, and here's the memory to go with it, just in case just
take everything. Just have the whole thing.
I don't want this going.
Yeah, I think he feels a bit bad. It's like, I don't mean you should be taking everything on. You helped me, but thanks. I just needed to return this, and thanks.
Yeah, thanks. You're welcome. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't even know what you're asking me for, to be honest.
Well, that's two of us.
I mean, I hope you figure it out.
Do you if you need help, you can come to me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And
I try not to need that kind of help, but if I do.
No, we can.
Ooh, can I pick up the Maelstrom?
Please. If you want.
Because I have a wonderful question since Lark is just like open, right?
Yeah, the Maelstrom can do whatever the fuck it wants right now.
Yeah. Rezzi,
Mm-hmm.
when you're at your best, what does help look like coming from you?
When I'm at my best, help looks like a community helping a community out.
And when you're at your worst, what does your help look like?
A bloodstain.
That is the when Rezzi says you can always come to me for help. That is the like your vision, Lark, is just bathed in red.
Yeah, which is why that makes what I said even more true. I really try not to need that kind of help.
And Rezzi looks hurt. It's like I'm more than just anger, you know. I mean, Burton knows.
Yes, I do know that. Out of character, you're also sadness and despair. Yeah.
And he sighs, like, just you have your things back. You helped. Thank you. I think I need to do something else now. I'm sorry.
Good luck.
And no. And he turns around and starts heading off.
What is it that's on your mind, and why can't Lark shut it out?
All it is me saying, "Don't look at me like that." And I think she can't shut it out because Rezzi's not in control of his emotional projection powers. Unless someone wants to, for some reason, have Valor doing something, but yeah. I think it's more potent that Rezzi's just sort of projecting.
That sounds like a good time for two people to come running back in, going, "Oh God, oh God, oh God!"
Or at least Dee to come first.
Oh right,
Right.
Sorry,
Yeah, we need to go first.
and
Does
then
anyone
don't
want to pick up her?
Sorry, what did you say?
Does anyone want to pick up Dee? Like, play her?
Dee Dee's one of your gang members?
Yes. And I'm fine playing her if no one else wants to.
Well, who's she going to talk to?
Yeah.
Probably Rezzi. That's why I was asking if anyone, like, you know, cult, weirdos, people, leave.
That's about it. No, because I think Dee Dee dipped before this horrible death communion.
Oh God, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Great. Only two people in this group are witness to the death communion, and they're the people directly involved in it.
Right. And they haven't made it back yet. So,
Nope.
Yeah, I think that's... I don't really want to play her because that's just rehashing exactly what happened.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, let's just say that's what happened. Like, she comes in,
Yeah.
like, you know, bad shit coming.
Yeah.
And, like, I think Rezzi's first thing is, like, you know, where's Burton? And Ezra.
No.
And also Ezra.
Excuse me while I have like an internal squee moment.
Yeah.
Oh, I think like this is like when Bella walks by. It's like, where's Burton?
My heart. Okay, we need to get. Okay.
I feel like as you just, I feel like we hear the "Where's Burton" as we break through the tree line.
Yeah.
You don't want to give everyone time to...
Would you like to?
Well, no, I mean, to not know about the whole death communion thing and be prepared for a larger group attacking us?
Oh, there's going to be a larger group attacking.
What, like,
or not. I mean, there's only so much dramatic irony we can do, really. So maybe not.
I mean, I just don't want to put any words in anyone's mouth. I just know I'm coming back going, okay, that was fucking scary.
Yes. Unless anybody else has things that they would like to do in this moment.
I mean, I would like to, I don't know, I would like to do something, but I'm not sure what. It could involve running into you guys. But I feel like the psychic maelstrom is probably like, there's a lot of potential for it to do stuff right now because like it's and Lark is trying very hard to like not act normal as in like fool everybody. I don't know that that's what they're trying to do. It's more like, well, you know, it'll go away eventually. I just fuck you, psychic maelstrom. I'm just gonna just gonna go about my day.
Not today, Satan.
And sooner or later, like, yeah, that is going to turn out to be a mistake.
Barry, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, what's Robyn doing?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I'm trying to place this since we like if we picked up from right prior to the or from right at the end of the last session. My idea for like, oh, is there something that can like that I can like put in the way? Like we do still have like some like former torch people who may not be super into my leadership. That's a thing. Otherwise, like with like I would like to maybe have the scene with Lark because I don't necessarily know what happened with Velour yet to make that confrontation happen, right? I don't know.
That could be a thing. Okay.
I'm definitely struggling with like the set of moves that I like. I'm okay with like finding a way to ostracize a follower, but like with Lark, I can maybe botch a ritual, exposing myself to risk or ridicule. That's a thing. Like with Rezzi, I'll definitely be threatening someone or something far too powerful. That's a thing. I don't know. Just trying to figure what is one of these things that is going to move some things in a way that makes sense.
Okay, I have an idea. So after Rezzi leaves to go talk to his gang, presumably, or try panic about Burton not being there. Yeah, hey, psychic maelstrom, what do you do to me that makes me finally decide to like, I really need to tell somebody about this? Robyn seems like a good choice.
So, I mean, this is in advance of the of Burton and Ezra showing back up with someone presumably hot on their heels.
Okay.
And the Maelstrom knows, right? The Maelstrom knows that there's the Maelstrom knows that the storm is coming. Whatever form that's going to take. And I mean it's gasoline, right? So it's so the storm is fire, and the storm is stench, and but the storm is also like bodies and religious fervor, and not all of those things are necessarily going to be clear what that means yet, which is great. Let's see. Psychic Maelstrom. So if the religious fervor like enters into the storm, like why is that something that would drive Lark?
I mean, I think that would confuse them, which, as a start. Yeah, I don't know.
I think I have
state of mind is here, actually. Okay.
With the psychic maelstrom, I don't want to take away what Barry did, though. Like, I think maybe like just the last, like, if you're like the last thing like with the ritual, one of the Labrys symbol like spins towards you, like lands at your feet, the double axe. But the part that landed in the ground stays an axe. The other side turns into that Pulaski axe bit.
Yeah, 100%. That's wonderful.
Oh, great. Yeah. And this is like the exact thing that I do not want to see from the psychic maelstrom. And I thought it would be okay. And like, okay, I'll just wait it out. It'll go eventually. It always goes away eventually.
Did you take that scalpel back?
I did. And I was going to put it in the trunk of the car, but I don't think I was like standing next to the car at the time. So I think I'm like walking there now.
When you see and feel all of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, I think like, at first when, I couldn't close my brain to the psychic maelstrom, there was that sense of, oh shit, what do I do? And then like I found kind of calmed down, like, okay, it's just wait. And also I have Rezzi's just like feeling of utter betrayal and hurt. And those are two separate things. One just like distracted me to make me, fuck up with the whole maelstrom thing. But I think because they're two separate things, I keep like switching between them, and it's actually maybe better that way.
If you don't sit with either of them for too long.
Right, yes.
I mean, would you be seeking Robyn out, or are you just like in this fugue state?
Yeah, I think that's what's happening, is that like the combination of these two things are just like going around and around, and I'm losing awareness of my the real world. I'm losing my connection to reality, and just
okay,
yeah.
Okay, and I think that I'm probably on my way to to confront Rezzi when I see you in this state. And you're by the car, right?
Yep.
How do I find you?
I think I'm just standing there looking very confused or very, very stoned, or like I've eaten some of Rezzi's mushrooms or something.
Okay. Do you want to bleed any of that out to me, psychically? Or is this, or is your distress more more evident visually?
I think I was trying to keep it to myself, but I might, like I said, have lost my connection to reality enough by now that I don't have a lot of control over that. So I think maybe just like I have this vague, or not vague, actually very specific feeling, but the cause for it is vague and confusing, and I have no idea why I feel this way, except that it has something to do with Rezzi. I think that you maybe get an echo of that.
Okay. And I think that the echo is happening in my head as I'm saying, as I see you as I'm going to confront Rezzi, and I see you and I just say, Lark, have you seen where Rezzi is? And the Rezzi, when I speak it, I hear it in my voice and your voice and Rezzi's voice, which is weird. But when I see you and you don't answer, I walk up to you and position myself between you and the car, and I kind of I lean back and just rest my butt on the top of the door and try and look at your face and say, Lark, are you okay?
I think I'm just kind of staring into nothing. I still have the scalpel in my hand, but it's just I've forgotten it's there,
And I will I'll reach I'll I'll reach to like hold each of your hands, like from my palm to the back of your hand, just to kind of like steady you for a second, and say, Lark, sweetie, can I take this? And I'll reach my hand across and put my hand on top of the hand that has like the hand that like is sitting with the open scalpel, right?
Yeah, and I just like let go of it.
Okay. And so like I take that and I put it into one of the many like wrappings and folds of my sweet boots.
Yes.
And when I look into your eyes, am I seeing anything, or are you just like totally oblivious?
I think that like there's some hint of recognition, maybe like going away. But yeah, I think like I at least focus on you momentarily. Like I know who you are. So that's.
And I'll reach up to your shoulder and I'll say, Lark, do you need help?
If no one's being the psychic Maelstrom now, I mean, Lark and Robyn are involved, and you're both named after birds. That doesn't have anything to do with this, but Lark, what memory of yours that is it doesn't have to be like as traumatic as like a total betrayal, but like what trauma do you bleed into Robyn?
Oh boy.
Ooh, can I frame it a little bit stronger? So
Please.
like I reach to your shoulder, right? And I ask if you need help. And like if you give me a yes, or if you don't give me anything, then like my inclination is going to be to like position myself so that I can like get around your back and then underneath your knees to carry you. And I know that you have a prosthetic leg.
Mm-hmm. So it's like I'm thinking like, that's traumatic memories. I mean, Robyn was there for several of them, and maybe that's it. Maybe it's like when we were taken from the enclave that both Lark and Robyn are from. Which, you know, and because of that, like, yes, which included the birdhouse. So I think, like, you know, Robyn obviously has her own memories of that. And I don't know how much of what Robyn sees is her own memory and how much is Lark's, but I think they kind of just merge together.
So like when they took me, like I remember being, I remember being like both, like it was not even clear what the purpose of it was, but they had put me on, crutches in order to get around, while they had like a bag over my head. They had me hooded, as though I could somehow both see things around me, and like maybe two, I don't know if these two have some sort of connection. Maybe this one will we'll get used to moving around this way, or it's more confusing than traumatizing, but it was something that like tied us together as part of that, as part of that initial abduction, being almost like experimented on even before they got us to the Institute.
Oh, like to see if to see if you could see like what I was seeing with your
something. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think you did see, at least flashes of whatever I was seeing. I don't know if they knew that. I don't know if you said anything to indicate that, and they didn't really have any way to measure it. They were probably just hoping that you would say something that indicated it. But I'm thinking Robyn is, cagey enough to not have said anything. But you got flashes of, a lot of people, holding guns pointed at you, and the like half submerged buildings of the Enclave getting farther and farther away, beyond like the spray of water from the boat engine. And I think I think you even saw it like blurry because Lark was crying at the time. So you like, so yeah, it was blurry for you. And I think, like they had taken my leg, so it wasn't like I was going anywhere, but they were still super watchful, like they expected me to, jump out of the boat and try to swim away.
Ferret, is there anything you wanted to follow up on any of that?
No, that's really good.
Okay. So like Bethany, if this works for you, like I'll pick you up and I'll take you to like lay you down in the like we don't have any of the tents set up right now, so I'll just like I'll go to lay you down like in the back of the car. And like
I think the fact that I don't protest is the most worrying thing. Like
yeah, definitely. And like I'll take your hood and like sweep it off the back of your like off the back of your head.
Mm-hmm.
And like with you laying down, I'm gonna like kneel on the outside of the outside of the car, and like against my better judgment, I think I'm going to open my brain to the world's psychic maelstrom and see what it just what I want to see is what's done this to you.
Psychic maelstrom? What do you have to say?
Oh, Lord. I drop. No. What has done this to you? I think like this. What does it look like when Robyn opens her? Like, what is it? What are the images that she usually gets?
Oh, that's good. So I try not to open my mind to the psychic maelstrom, and so it's like it's like on a bright sunny day when you try and close your eyes tightly, and you can see like the you can see the blood vessels of your eyelids, and you can see the light like trying to push its way through, like it's stretching a membrane, right? And it isn't striking it. It's like it's that constant pressure that's like it will push down that wall eventually. And when I feel it, like the way that I feel it is like I can feel the pulse in my hands, just like that part that beats like a drum because I'm scared of what's going to come through.
Yeah, so you close your eyes are closed, you feel that bright light, and you hear like just sounds. I'm going to take Bethany up on her offer, and just like beeping, machines moving, and you open your eyes and you're in an institute surgical room, and you know this is the one where Lark belonged to. I love using air quotes apparently. And it's Lark on the table, but not Lark. It's like the manifestation of her problems, and it looks like a Frankenstein's monster, like Rezzi's tattoos on like that goddess woman's faces. Lark. I'm sorry. The goddess cult thought of you as a she. I got locked in that. They're the goddess cultist woman that died's face with Rezzi's tattoos on it, and but like her head is like sewn on, and just bits and pieces of like everyone's trauma that Lark has taken into themselves, but like at the very end, like where there should be feet, it just ends in like the raw psychic Maelstrom, which is like you can tell is you don't know if it's like that's where it's dug in or where it's coming up from.
That's amazing. Okay. And so seeing this and seeing Rezzi's tattoos, that's a problem. That'll come back. Obviously. But I think that I'm gonna lean to Lark's ear, and I'll say, I'm really sorry about this. I think that you need it, and forgive me. And then I'll go to the garden on wheels to get some of the leeches, in order to try and let the maelstroms to try and loosen the maelstrom's grip on them.
So is this when Burton and Ezra get back?
I mean, I'd like to think so.
Yeah. Make this a whole party scene.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna see how well that balances.
All of everything just comes to fruition right now.
Yeah, and I think because if we come back and I know Rezzi had said the whole where's Burton thing. I think Burton is actually going to run to Rezzi more as a warning thing, but also instinctually.
Aw. As Ezra's just like, I have gasoline, but also cultists.
Yeah. Ezra has burned off lots of calories through fear and hauling gas.
Yep.
Burton has burned off lots of air he was supposed to breathe.
Yeah. How are you on your inhaler, dude?
Hey, yeah, I was gonna say the varied scarcities here. Burton.
Yeah, so I think
your inhaler is just about empty.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I get like one or two puffs out, and then I'm like, crap.
Well, fuck.
What, did you want me to double check to see if they had more inhalers? That would have been a surprise.
Whole thing was a shit show.
Yeah, I think Burton, I think Rezzi sees Burton coming, but like there's like the last puff and like shake, throw.
Yeah.
And Rezzi just like his eyes go wide. It's like finally he knows what to feel, kind of. And he just hugs Burton, and it's like, oh wait, do I know what to feel? And I was like, where were you? Holy crap!
Long story short, we had to go retrieve some gas. We were low on gas.
To go.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
the long story actually short.
That's the real short version. My short versions are never actually short. They're Burton versions. Let's just go.
And I think Rezzi like puts his finger on Burton's lips, like, and he looks at Ezra. How quickly do we need to go?
10 minutes ago.
And I think he like puts his fingers in his mouth and whistles for his gang to start. We're packing up. We're heading out.
Yeah, and I think I'm gonna actually kind of say we should let Robyn and Lark know, especially for completely different reasons, which is not something that Burton actually says. He just says we need to let them know.
And Rezzi looks confused, like, we should let everyone know we need to leave.
Yep.
Yeah, is there anyone you shouldn't let know?
I have a lack of oxygen right now. There's not a lot of there's not a lot of thought going on, and a lot of that thought is like, here are the people that I know intimately.
And I think Rezzi just sighs, like, well, this seems dangerous, so if we're going to be walking to danger, and he looks at Burton and is like, come here.
Okay.
And Rezzi just plants a big, fat kiss on him. He's like, this may be my last memory. I'm going to fucking enjoy it.
Yeah, so with the mix of the lack of oxygen and that happening, I think Burton just kind of stares at you for a moment and then does one right back.
And
he's like, okay.
I'm gonna go back to the car.
You know what?
Yeah.
I got it out of my system. I mean, not this. Let's go.
And I think Rezzi takes the gas can from Ezra, not because he doesn't think she can carry it, but because she's been carrying it for a damn long time, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lord.
So yeah, we're going back to the car.
It occurs to me that, this entire group of 30 people only has one car.
Yep.
Yeah.
And is hauling a whole lot of stuff by hand.
Yep.
And there is no way you're going to escape everything while doing that.
No.
Yeah,
really
there it
isn't.
is.
What?
Yeah.
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 Well, I'm gonna need some help to get there. But I at least have a strong move that would be helpful for this situation. The real question is what it will cost us.
Yeah.
All right.
Or who?
Well, definitely what, because I don't want, well, maybe who, but one of the strong moves that I have is enact a cunning diversion. And I'm not certain what that cunning diversion might be, except maybe either something to do with the car or something to do with literally all of our other stuff. All bad.
Yep.
So I'm open to some brief thought and discussion on that, because unfortunately Robyn is much more cunning than I am. It's 10 wisdom trying to play a cleric. It doesn't work. So
I know that life.
So that's something that I'm gonna throw out there, and if someone can think of a sweet cunning diversion that, like, best case costs us something, we can make that happen.
Here is me as Cerebral with an idea, but also tinted with Ezra's using people as not people.
Bring
They're
it.
looking for Lark. If we disguise someone as Lark, because they would rather go for them.
Oh, I hope I never find out that you did that.
Oh, this is not something that I'm verbalizing in the world.
Oh, yeah. No. I understand that.
Yeah, it's a good
It
thing.
is a shitty option, but it is an option.
I mean, oh, I kind of really want you to do that because it's awful. But that's totally you. I mean, you can always get yourself out of harm's way with a token. So, yeah,
It's an idea I am throwing out there.
Yeah, no, that's the worst idea, which means that I love it and I really don't want to do it. But, that's a very good idea.
I think I know the person who'd be the most susceptible to accepting that.
They are.
They are.
Oh, Burton.
By the reaction from literally everyone, it might be the right call.
Oh, Burton.
He knows that this makes sense.
Well, okay, let's think about that for a hot second. Because what I'm definitely doing right now is like I've collected my leeches and like I've gone and like sat down in the back seat of the car. Like I've lifted up Lark's legs in order to like sit down with their legs on my lap. And like I'll roll up the pant leg on their non-prosthetic meat leg. Because this is where the Maelstrom is. This is where the Maelstrom is in her. This is what it showed me. Or in them. This is what it showed me. And so like as I like slide up the pant leg, like normally when I let the blood, like I try to like place the leeches all about the body in order to collect blood from all of the different places that the heart is pumping it to. But I think that I am going to definitely botch this ritual, exposing myself to risk or ridicule.
May I flavor that?
I would love if you did.
I think Robyn's putting a lot of leeches on like the foot and the ankle where they saw Lark's thing like that, and one of the leeches just grabs in, gets really big, and explodes in Maelstrom blood. It's not even blood; it's Maelstrom raw in your face. Or Bethany.
Yeah. So I think this is when those, the cultists show up. But I'm still connected to the psychic Maelstrom and I see them coming. Like I saw them coming before. It was weird and confusing, but I saw them coming. And that is suddenly a good thing. Because I am going to use my psychic gifts with artful precision right now. Or I'm going to abruptly call forth the world's psychic Maelstrom. That makes maybe a little more sense. Yeah, ironically, I'm going to reveal my powers to chase the goddess cultists away.
Oh, I have a lovely idea for that if no one else does. I've taken this time a lot.
Go for it.
Yeah, I think they see the cult coming and they remember the Pulaski axe. And I think Robyn sees it because of the face full of Maelstrom ichor. And I don't think anyone else, I think the rest of the Enclave knows what's happening in a way because of like the psychic bleed we have. But to the cultists, Lark stands ready and proud and about 10 feet tall as they come and prostrate themselves before the figure of their goddess. And Robyn hears Lark's voice, proud and not Larkish, kind of, I guess. speaking in their diction, their holy writ, for lack of better words, telling them why they're all faithless, why they didn't do what they're supposed to do. And I think this pain is leaching out of the pain in Lark, and Lark opens every one of the cultists' brains to the psychic maelstrom.
Oh God! And yeah. It's funny because I have no idea what's actually going on. I know that there are these people who are a threat, and I'm connected to the psychic maelstrom, and I can make them go away. And I think the psychic maelstrom is actually sort of translating that as it always does into different people's translating it into different people's way of seeing, or using their memories and their ideas. So they're hearing this speech, and I think they hear this speech, and then they feel that the same thing that Lark is feeling. With, again, Lark has no context for this. They have no context provided for this, but they do have someone staring right at them that they could feel betrayed by.
Is that Robyn or Lark?
That's Lark.
Yeah. And just because I want to be a bit kind to Lark, who's suffered a lot in this game, I think Lark is projecting forth these emotions, and the psychic maelstrom did say you could take others' pain away. But it feels like that Pulaski axe is dropping and cuts the emotions off of you, leaving them embedded in all the cultists.
Awesome. Yeah. I think they would that I don't know that would make them leave. That might just make them attack everybody.
Well, I think with the emotions, they do feel not betrayed. They feel betrayed by themselves. They're not holy enough. They didn't do the communion right, so they're going back to try and do it again.
Okay, yeah, that works.
We've got to be more right. More beef, more gas.
Great. We've inspired them to be even more dangerous, but
for next time.
Yeah. And I think that's it. I think I don't know. I think I probably just black out at that. This is just too many things at once. Brain, nope. And they leave.
And we were going to the car, right? Burton and Ezra?
Yeah, definitely. Because we had the gas.
Yeah, and if it's okay for all of us to arrive, I think us three are arriving and seeing the cultists leave almost sullenly and sadly. And Rezzi looks a bit confused, all these white robes and axes walking away.
Yeah.
Oh, the second Ezra sees them, she's shoring up her shotgun. She's ready to throw down, and then they turn around and leave, and she's like, oh.
There is an axe left, stuck in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
If no one else will, I'm going to grab the axe.
Yeah, I think Rezzi looks at Ezra. It's I thought you said they were dangerous.
They were.
Full disclosure, they assumed Lark was their goddess.
Lark?
Okay, no. And Ezra pulls out the Polaroid.
And the laughter's oh.
They've been in our camp.
Oh.
And it's really fucking creepy. And they will probably follow us.
Also, ironically enough, we went to them because we had gas missing. Turns out they had stolen that gas. So much for trading hours.
Wait. They have stuff.
Not stuff worth going for.
There's too many of them. When they're not like whatever the fuck that just was.
Okay. Okay.
Honestly,
is he making a good decision?
Hey, I mean, Lark got rid of some emotional baggage. Rezzi can make a good decision.
Is that a strong move?
No, it's just a narrative push.
okay. Okay, great.
And I think Rezzi sees like Robyn sort of staring at where the Lark image that she had seen. He goes up to her and like touches her on the shoulder. Hey, Robyn.
And like Robyn shakes it off for a second and like gets a cloth and like realizes that that her face is covered in this blood, right? And so she wipes it and then like folds up the cloth, and just kind of tucks it away. And
Can I add something to that?
oh, please do.
The cloth fell out of Lark's pocket, and it's that weird little napkin doll.
Oh yeah, no, perfect. Yeah, and did you disassemble it or do I disassemble it?
No, I think I just like I said, just kind of looked at it. And, huh.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like
it's still a doll, yeah.
okay. Yeah, and like not even thinking it, I just wipe my face with it, and so this thing is just just smeared with it, and I instead of like tucking it away, I'm just gonna like set it down on the floor of the car, like by my feet, and I'll get out and I'll say, who were those people?
The pretty boy and scary girl say they were cultists.
Cultists?
They seem to think that Lark was their quote-unquote goddess. And as evidence of that, they had a lot of Polaroids of them. They've been to our camp without us noticing.
They wanted to bring Lark back up to their enclave.
Well, we can't let them. Bethany, I'm going to misgender Lark just briefly for narrative purposes, and say, we couldn't let them do that to her. She's one of us.
Yeah, and
go ahead.
I was just going to say that. Well, whatever happened, they seem to have, at least for now, turned around and gone back to their home. It's weird
Camp.
to say. Yeah, that sounds more accurate.
And no one died. You guys solve problems very differently.
Also, it feels far less like we're solving problems at the time that we're dealing with them, and far more like panicking.
Yep.
So,
Wait, you got all of that? Like looking at the cans and the cans of gas that you've brought back over. You got all that without killing anyone?
not exactly.
There's the rub.
There's that. If we're being technical, there's the hemlock, but it's neither here nor there.
I hope it's there.
It was definitely there. I saw it.
That's not important. What's important is, one, Lark never sees this, and I hold up the Polaroid and then I just pocket it. They don't need to know.
Yeah.
And I'll say, can I see that? And I'll hold my hand out.
And I think it's just like a picture of Lark sleeping on the ground, just as peaceful as Lark can look.
It's a picture of Lark sleeping. They were sleeping under the car, like under the bed of the car, so you can see like the wheels and just like the floor of it. And she's just They're just like curled up underneath it, but it feels really serene.
Oh, what do I want to do about that? I really want that picture.
Trade some leeches.
I'll be caring for them until they get up. I can just hold on to that and then give that to them so they can do what they will with it.
They don't need to know about this. They don't need to know that there's a group of 40, 50 people that want to take them up to their camp and do God knows what.
And you think that knowing that keeps it safe from Lark?
They've dealt with enough.
Okay, between this kerfuffle between Ezra and Robyn, I want to ask a weak move question. Whose motives should I second guess right now?
Mine.
That was easy.
Yeah.
100% mine, because all that Maelstrom blood right in my face definitely has given me interesting ideas about Lark.
Yeah, I think Rezzi stands in front of Ezra and it's like, no. They went and got it. They put themselves at danger. They can keep it.
No one outside the four of us needs to know about this.
Until the Maelstrom decides.
Then let the Maelstrom decide.
Well, let the Maelstrom decide, and then you explain yourself.
That was the plan.
It's a shit plan.
What the fuck other choice do we have?
Honesty? You can choose.
What good will Lark benefit knowing that we were stalked by people who wanted to put them on display as some kind of being to worship? Who knows what they would have done with them? I
am going to go ahead and use the one weak move I haven't used. And I'm going to demand an explanation from someone, because I'm getting a little bit perturbed by the fact that you seem so set, Robyn, on getting this. It's a little disconcerting, and now that I'm able to somewhat breathe, it's all starting to make a little... It's not making sense, but that's why I'm asking, and I just kind of pointedly look at you and I go... You know what Lark looks like, and honestly, if you want honesty, you're free to tell them. But why do you need the photograph?
I pushed the wrong button.
I know.
It just looked like you're like, bye.
No, if I was real hardcore, I would have left the call. What can I do here? What do I want to do here? Can you give me that question one more time? I want to make sure that I've got the
I've
got the whole of it.
The question is, you know what Lark looks like, and you, with your honesty policy, can absolutely tell them about what happened. So what is it about the photograph that you need? Why do you need the photograph?
Gotcha. I would look at just as unhinged as the people that you're saying this about, if I couldn't back it up somehow.
You know, I thought you were one of the few people who didn't worry about appearances.
Oh, you are gonna fucking pay for that.
It's because it's all bullshit, man. She's just as materialistic as the rest of us. Fuck you.
Okay. From that, I'll say, well, okay. How about appearances? You want to talk about appearances, Rezzi? Where the fuck is Velour? What kind of solution did you come to?
Velour's gone.
What do you mean Velour's gone?
They're not here.
And that is because
They were trying to vote me out of my own gang.
and so
You have ways of dealing with your followers. I have ways of dealing with my people.
wait, I want to make sure that I understand this then. Your solution to the problem of someone that was not doing that was not doing right by you was to oh, my brain is not working. I didn't watch the video from last week. Velour had pulled the alarm in the thing. Is that correct?
Yeah.
That is correct.
Okay. And that meant that you lost someone who was important to you.
Correct.
Okay. So the way that you deal with the way that you dealt with this problem of losing someone to you is you kicked someone out of our enclave. You made that decision.
These are my people. I watch you all. I help everyone. But we were deadlocked. If they had voted me out, I would have stepped down. We were deadlocked. They had been betrayed. Or they had betrayed us. So I dealt with it how I felt like I should.
And so what? You left them in a ditch somewhere, or?
No. Nothing like that. What do you want me to say? That I'm sorry? That I'm not sure what answer will make this easier for you?
How could I deepen your character's sense of belonging and purpose?
Oh, you bitch!
Yes.
By offering me a place amongst your followers.
Rezzi, I know that I said that I would back up your play. Thank you for not harming the people who we choose to be with. Velour made people a little uncomfortable. I understand. And while there are, you have reasons and you have good ones for having solved things the way that you did. But if we're going to find some place that we can reestablish ourselves as a people that care for each other and that help each other, the first thing that we need to do is be able to follow Lark wherever they take us. And the second thing that we need to do is we need to be able to share when things like this become a problem. It can't just be you on your own. you know what? I'm going to spend a token to psychically summon one of my followers. And the follower that I want to psychically summon is Isabel, who is not fond of my leadership, but who I think will probably do the thing that I ask of her, which is bring soup. And I think that you and I, Rezzi, I think we need to share a meal, and we need to come to an understanding about this.
I think Rezzi looks a bit almost naively confused. Are you saying you're going to teach me?
I'm saying we're going to share.
And he still is and he looks at Burton and Ezra, looks at Lark. He's like, do we need to do it now? We should move the cult.
And Isabel knows what Robyn is thinking, and finds a can of soup in our supplies. And as we're speaking, Robyn opens the front door of the car and pops the hood. And Isabel hands me the soup. I take my knife and I punch a couple of small holes in the top of it, and I set it on the engine block, and close the hood. And I'll say, we'll eat when we get where we're going.
And Rezzi's going to do one final thing. He hugs Robyn like she's his mother.
Oh, Rezzi's hair's getting stroked.
And I think this is when Bella comes up with the tennis ball that Levy's been throwing with it's almost chewed beyond repair by now.
You get one tennis ball. That's all we got.
Yeah. But I'm going to get a healthy amount of Bella pets in because there weren't enough this session.
There could have been infinite before I got here, and I never would have known, Peter.
Nah.
Well, I wasn't pointedly looking at anyone in particular. I was just going, I need them.
Oh, and I do want to use a regular move on Robyn. I'm giving something away. I'm giving you my trust.
I will definitely not abuse that at all next week.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.